Hi, welcome back to Mechanic Garage. There. Yeah. Hi, welcome back to Mechanic Garage. I'm going to nip out of the driveway for a change, and I'll show you something else I've got that I need to do a couple of jobs on, because I think I've sold it. I'm hoping I've sold it because I need the space. I'm not hoping I've sold it because I don't want to sell it, but go have a look what it is. It's not the usual. I don't know. We'll see. I know what it is anyway. Right, let's use a slightly shonky camera angle. I'll head out of the drive. It's not far. Not far at all, I'll be honest. Parking sensors seeing the front wheels. Yeah, it's something different, something that hasn't been on the channel, because it's not really been something that, it's not something that's to do with the channel as such, but it might just be interesting because it's probably the last time I'm going to see it, let alone anybody else. And we're here now. Right, we're down at the farm, and I might as well flip you around and show you what I'm going to be doing, because it's probably sold. I need to just check the brakes, well, check the bearings and change the tyres over and give it a wash. It's been in here 4 years. 1970 Thomson Glenelg 4-berth 13 foot, made in Scotland, and it's been something I've had this particular one 4.5 years maybe. I must have had probably 15 or 20 of them, Thomsons in general. They tend to turn up in fields, and I'll show you inside in a bit properly. But 1970, so it's what, 55-year-old. I've always had plans to do it, clean it, repaint it and use it, but then because I'm a bit of a mentalist, that registration number is a blue Morris 1.8, so I can assume it's a Morris Marina 1.8. So it's been my mission to get something same or similar, or an Austin Cambridge or something along those lines, to be a correct tow car. Now, as you know on a channel, I tend to buy anything and everything, and I've not got round to doing this. It's mostly solid. The last people owned it for about 25 years, I think. I did some repairs on it, replaced the legs because they were a bit crusty, got all the lights working, and put it in here. It dried out. I then resealed all the windows because there's a rubber seal in here that dries over time, and then the water creeps down, runs down the glass and creeps inside and ruins the woodwork. All the windows have been sealed, and it was left in here to dry. Try and find my way down here. Somewhere I have the key. Came from good old Caravans in Huddersfield, thereabouts, and even has the good old keyring. That wasn't the original one, I bought it off eBay. Just then it matched. And as soon as you open the door, it's that smell of my childhood. It's not very bright in here, but this is, let's try and see if that makes any difference. Basically, a slightly newer version of the Caravan my grandparents had, that had blue interior and blue curtains, being in 1968. This is in 1970, and everything's brown and orange, because 70s. Now, yeah, the smell in here, it's just old. It's not damp, it's fusty, sort of, just that unused, stored smell. But that's the smell I associate with these Caravans, just because that's what they are. What I'm going to do, I'll show you around properly in a bit anyway, but I need to be realistic, and the fact I'm never going to use it. Never going to use it. I haven't got the time to do it. And annoyingly, I think that's how it's going to have to be. have to sell it and put the money into something else, such as the Trabant, because I've got quite a lot of money to spend on that in major big parts and shipping. So what I'm going to do is get the wheels off. I'm going to clean the brakes up a little bit. The brakes are not particularly great. They're just going to be grease the bearings if they need it. If not, I can just get it ready to move. I need to pull it out and wash it ideally because people are coming to see it soon. But anyway, less waffle, more work. Right, I've just had a message that the people coming to see it are well on their way. And if they take it home, it needs to be a little bit more checked over. I'll go to the front end. I'll try not to just show you the back of my head the whole time, but nature of the thing, isn't it? So. These tyres that were on it, absolutely knackered, just age-wise. So I fitted a couple of ones I had that are a little bit old, but they're still good, and they fit underneath the arches. That's good. 165s, not 17, not 155s. I'll zoom you in a bit. Let's just see what I'm doing then. Yeah, the bearings sound a little bit rough. Probably haven't had any grease in them in 30, 40 years. I don't know. So a quick grease up. I'm not going to go mad washing them out. Just get some fresh lubrication in there. And now I'm against the clock, which doesn't help. But that's just me, innit? Come on, in you go. Because the house was never meant to be sold. But I'm never going to use it. I bought it because it was available, which is what I normally do through the owners group, Thomson Caravans on Facebook. Obviously this is not usual, but I can't see what I'm doing there. I'll go get a torch. I can't actually see where the end of the... there it is. And there's nothing really to stick it to. There we go, that'll do. It's quite cold today as well, so not good fun. This is basically old school bog standard. The split pin holds the adjuster nut. I know the brakes are going to be rusty as hell. They're not currently the best. I had to de-adjust it the other night. Off you come. That's the outside ones. The inner bearing's a bit sticky. It's coming slowly. There we go. That feels like it's pulled the seal off, but there we go. Oh no, it's come out okay. Yeah, we have some good brakes, as in linings wise. I know it hasn't done him many miles because the last people owned it it was sighted, so it's basically in one place. Moved on and off the sight for him. Let's try and get this seal out without damaging it. It's a little bit rough, but at least it's got grease in it. It's not going to overheat. Find a flat. There. The taper bearings basically just adjust them up. Go get a spanner that fits. Right, big spanner. And basically with taper bearings, rotate them, wind it, nip it up a little bit whilst you're turning, then bang it off, nip it back up so it's just literally touching. Some people leave a bit of free play in there, but what I tend to do is that washer there, if it'll move slightly, then that's good. If you haven't got another hole, always go back, don't go tighter. If you go tighter, then you run the risk of being too much. Now have I got split pins that'll fit, that's the question. Yes, I do. Tiny bit of grease on the studs, just on the threads, not on the cones. I didn't want that anyway. Yeah, I've toyed with selling this for a long time. Because A, I never use it, and B, it's in the way for the farmer. Although he hasn't been pushing me for it, I know there has been comments that he could do with this space back. So, sadly, it's going to have to go. The only plus side is, as I say, it'll free up money for project bits. So I'm going to put that there. Not necessarily a bad thing. As I said earlier, if I keep it, it's just a constant. I need a 1970 or 71 car or there around. Something that would have been a typical tow car at the time. Mark II Cortina, Austin Cambridge, the likes, Mark III Cortina, Hillman Hunter, or Marina. And wanting a Marina isn't the best thing to be. I don't mind them actually. But at the moment I've got too many other things. So if it does go, it's going to spend most of its journey back on motorways. And even stuff like this, still got the original trims and everything. And these are usually the first thing people take off. All go missing, drop off. Hit a pothole and they're a bit shocked and fall out. Right, let's go to the other side. Same again. So I'll probably speed it up. I could do with speeding myself up. They'll be here soon. Right, and that's that done. So all the brakes are wound off at the moment, because I'm pretty sure all linkages are pretty rough anyway. But tyres are good, bearings are good. Got to make sure the lights and everything work. Somehow I've got to get it out of here. I can't turn it that way because that trailer's in the way, which is quite heavy, which might be the only option I've got, is rolling that pile of gravel there. That's empty, so we're okay. The other option was to move that, spin it that way, but I've just found out the forklift and the manager on the farm is locked in a building with a broken door. So the plan for that has just been scuppered. So right, I'll put my stuff away and then we'll try and get it moved, or we'll wait for the people to get here. There it is, first time it's been outside in 4 years. I'm still a little bit torn about selling it. Let's put this inside so it ain't fastened on. But as I said before, I need to sell it. I need to make room. I need to get out of the farm. Poor thing needs a damn good wash. I might just go and grab the Wartburg because the van ain't got a tow bar on. Get the Wartburg, take it around the house and wash it, and hopefully they will buy it, because if they don't, I dare say that parking space will have gone. Right, let's go and get the car. It's on the back of the Wartburg now, and the farmer's seen me, so I've pretty much had it now. Alright, that's it washed off. I haven't quite got the roof done yet, but they'll be here any time now, so I figure if the rest of it's cleaned off, it'll look better. You can see through the windows and that at least. And unfortunately now everything's soaking wet, so yeah, the roof's still a bit grot, but I can do that. It won't take long. But yeah, as I said before, 1970 13 foot, one of the best sellers of the Thomson Glenelg. Perfect 4 or 5 berth family van. You can see inside it a bit better now. Everything's wood, no plastics, no nothing. I mean, apart from the little curtain hooks, but I think they may have been chains originally. The gas lights, it's had 240 volt put in afterwards, which it wouldn't have had normally. I'll go in there, my knees because my feet are wet. There's your little bathroom, toilet room, and then there's your toilets. There's a spare one as well. That's literally where the term crap in a bucket came from with Caravan. And yeah, that folds up as a top bunk. There's a few of the spares I should be keeping hold of, because always a lot of people need them. But yeah, I don't really want to sell it, but realistically I have no need for it. There's your cooker. There's your, try and get wet feet everywhere. The sink, original 1970 curtain. These are the ones that have been replaced, but yeah, it's oh, wet feet on the carpet again. I'll have to clean that up. But anyway, yeah, hopefully they'll be here soon, because that roof really does need to clean this side. That towed it round okay. It's a little bit low at the back end. There's a bump in the jockey wheel, but it's not the original one. It just doesn't come up quite high enough. Oh, and yeah, this is something you don't want to be driving on. A cross-ply kingpin remold. These are the ones that used to just disintegrate. Remolds aren't that bad anymore. At this era, they weren't so good. And then obviously, being a cross-ply as well, that's even worse. but that was a spare, however long that's been in the van. So it's get you off the road, off the motorway, but I wouldn't trust it for anything else. Although I did use it on the way back when I fetched it, because it the one that was on there decided to start blabbing out on the sidewall. So yeah, anyway, well, this might be the last time I do any filming with it, which is a bit of a disappointment really. Spin round so it's in the back, but I don't want to sell it, but I need to. I'm never going to use it. It's money sat there. It's annoying the farmer in the barn. He's already seen me, as you saw last time when I put it on the car. He was walking across to me in the background. He literally appears. He can be, you never see him, and as soon as you're doing something, he just appears. But it's his farm. He let me put it in there, which is good of him. It did overstay its welcome a little bit. So fingers crossed it does sell, because I don't think I'm going to get it back in there. Well, the message is going to be a little bit, not later than they said. Just gives me a bit more time, so I've been up and cleaned the roof as well. At least that way she's looking all right. So it'll either be looking all right to go back in the barn if I can get it in there, or it'll be looking all right to go home, to the new home, which is pretty rubbish, to be honest. Why do these things have to sell? I mean, to be fair, I've got that one. I never used that one either. I think I've used it twice in 3 years, 3 times maybe, and that's a lot nicer. I think that's 1990, that's not even new. This is so a quick look where it is a comparison. This is all a little bit posher. Can't really see down that end, but considering the age of it, it's really, really good. I just bumped into the wall. Cotswold Celeste, top of the range at the time, 1990, and very, very expensive hand-built caravans. These were also hand-built in one spot in Falkirk, Caravan, up in Falkirk. Not Karen, but Caron. Not Karen, that's something completely different. So, but yeah, I don't think better. Yeah, as a kid, I can't really see for the thing, but it was top, that bunk folds up, and I used to bang my head on the ceiling, because in that top corner, I can't see, top corner where the wardrobe and the wall are, there used to be a cupboard in the earlier ones. So you either banged your head in the roof at this end, or you banged your head in the cupboard. But yeah, as I said, my grandparents had one, 1968, with blue interior, which I did manage to find one a few years ago. I've been sat on a Scottish hillside for about 30 years, and I found one, got in the car and drove from near Lincoln to Fife, piled everything into the back of the Laguna, drove all the way up there, and reality was it had been there too long. It was too rough. It was too much work to be able to make it so it could tow back home, even though I bought wheels, lights, tape, everything to fasten it together. And in the end, it was basically going to give me it, because he's like, you've come a long way, I don't want to scrap it, if you want it, take it. And I had to turn it down. I couldn't. I was supposed to be moving to Australia. I had about 3-4 months before I was supposed to be going, and picking up an absolute full-on caravan rebuild project. And at the time, I lived in Toy Town, in a new build housing estate. It was like before we moved out, but there was nowhere to do it, and it was like, reality was, no, I can't do it. But it was good that I actually found one after probably 10 years, 15 years of looking. Australia fell through. I then got that caravan. I'll try and put a picture of that in now. And that's the difference with the 68 model. They've got the curves. These are straight here. They've got the more of a curved shape. And that's what my grandma had. I all had the original cushions and curtains, but they were all rotten and faded. I do still have one of the divider cushion and curtain in the blue fabric up in the loft. No idea why. Never gonna need it. And it's just up there. But I can't bring myself to get rid of it. So I've tried since. I think, like I say, I've had about 10 of them, 4 or 5 Glenelgs. I even had a 1958 Thomson Almond at one point, but it was parked up in 1982. So when we tried to move it, it was it was literally held together by the furniture, and when we were stripping it out to repair it, even without taking it all out, it literally collapsed under its own weight. But then found that the chassis had rotted through and split as well, so although it gave a lot of parts up, it would have probably been better staying where it was, but we tried. You can't save them all. But hopefully they'll be here soon, and we'll see what happens. I'm not looking forward to this one. Well, it's still here. He decided it wasn't for him. The airframe needed repair. He said it was a bit too much for him, which is fair enough. So, message the next guy. We'll see what happens. But for now, it's still here. Thanks for watching. Something a bit different. Like, comment, subscribe, as usual. Thank you.